Allez, on se bouge.
Hunting is actually doing a very good job just holding them back.
Pas de pitié.
Defeat! The battle is lost. Paris has fallen into German hands, and it is only a matter of time before the rest of the country is occupied. We must now think to the future. Elements within the government want an armistice with Germany, but many officers wish to continue the struggle from Britain. Several members of the British War Cabinet have suggested another option, a merger of France and Great Britain into a single nation which will fight on until all of France has been liberated. Collaborate with the Germans. Play as Vichy France if Germany grants the armistice. The fight goes on. Play as France if Germany grants an armistice. Let us merge with Britain. United Kingdom annexes France. Game over. We'll continue the fight. Lose stability. We'll be doing the fight goes on, but I have 13 days in which to make that decision. 13 days in which to try and save as many troops as I can. La garde recule. Sauve peu qui peut. The guard is retreating. Save what you can.
Continuez l'attaque.
Back off, buddy.
Continuez d'avancer. Tirs ennemis.
Britain's doing the same thing. Everyone's just like, run away! Run away! Leg it. Save yourselves. 12 days. We're actually saving a lot of troops. 17 divisions have made it out already. We've lost the last port down here though.
C'est parti.
So this has just gotten a lot more difficult. So the white units might be the only ones who are failing. Try to get to Plymouth if you can. No, no, don't do that. Do not do that.
Visez bien. Continuez d'avancer.
There you go. Idiots.
Visez bien. Pas de pitié. On se magne.
Actually, you stay there. We'll see if we can get everyone out of Lyon.
On se magne.
Fortunately, they're going to cut us off here.
On se magne. Bougez-vous. Bougez-vous.
Yeah, I think that these guys have been trapped. I think we did get the Alpine units out, though. Yeah, we did.
Gardez vos rangs.
Oh, maybe. If he gets to Bordeaux in time.
Gardez vos rangs. Gardez vos rangs. Bougez-vous. Bougez-vous.
Yeah, that's all been trapped.
Allez, on se bouge.
Okay, Alpine troops are out. 5 days. And that's it. That's the last of our units. Oh, we should probably move the navy as well. Actually, let's do Mediterranean fleets versus other fleets. And the Air Force. And the navy. You are the Mediterranean fleet. You're the English Channel fleet. You and you are recons here. You are recon over here. Mine layers right over there. All of the submarines right there. And the convoys in there. 4 days. We inflicted 1 million casualties. Sauve équipe, which is what the French army were noted to be saying at Waterloo after the final Guard counterattack failed. I knew I'd heard that somewhere recently. Or somewhere for a reason. As a French student, those pronunciations... Yeah, look... I'm a lot better at pronouncing French and... Well, it's not French. I'm a lot better at pronouncing Germanic stuff than I am French. Like, anything Latin-based, Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, not a clue. I studied French for 6 years and I feel like I learned about 3 words. Parlez-vous anglais? You guys should probably also try to save yourselves.
Attention.
Alright, Hunsinger, you've done your job. You can rest easy now.
Allez, on bouge.
2 days. 1 day. So I'm hoping that all of the ships are made. I mean, at midnight tonight, basically, we'll call it. The fight goes on. Resistance to the armistice. In the wake of the French armistice with Germany and the establishment of a new government in Vichy, France, a group of senior officers have rebelled against the new French government. Charles de Gaulle delivered a radio broadcast urging resistance against the collaborationist Vichy regime. De Gaulle effectively assumes leadership of the new French forces and continues the fight against the Germans. Fight for France continues. Oh, we still actually control these bits. It's just the southern ones that we didn't. What about the navy? Oof, okay, we lost most of the ships. So, let me think about this for a second. And what territory do we still have? We have Libya. This is the thing that weirds me out a little bit, because I saw this during my test games as well. We always get Libya. So what happens if you fail to take Libya from Italy? Where is the Free France going to be based if you don't have Libya? I'm getting Kaiserreich vibes. Yeah, I can see why. So we're going to try and get these guys out. And I think I'm also going to assign my fleet, all of you now, to Libya. That's going to be where we're based. And then the French army down here, which we actually lost half of, and the commander, is going to be based here. Keeping a wary eye on Vichy. Although Vichy at the moment is not in the war. In fact, I don't think they're even considered a puppet. This is another thing which is a little bit strange. They're guaranteed by Germany, but that's it. They're not in the war anymore. The death of Rudolf Hess. Deputy Führer Rudolf Hess was killed yesterday when the Royal Air Force intercepted the heavy fighter who was flying off the coast of Scotland. The exact nature of this mission remains unclear. Although Hess was an accomplished pilot, he flew alone and his aeroplane did not appear to have been armed. His remains were discovered by British authorities, but a state funeral with an empty coffin has been scheduled in Berlin. Hitler was reported to be visibly distraught by the death of his old friend. Interesting.
Attention.
Oops, no, I want to be force marching. Get out of there! And yes, we'll be taking a look at the focus tree in a minute. I just want to try and save what I can. Alright, so the units that we managed to get out of France are okay. In fact, the ones who are left in Vichy can probably just leave. What did Vichy get? Can we even see? Okay, they have a lot of divisions still.
Pareil.
We lost half of the armor, even though I definitely got them out.
Attention.
We didn't lose very many of Bankert.
Gardez vos rangs.
We lost all of the Alpine troops, even though they got out.
Pareil.
We lost a bunch of them. Alright.
Aux ordres.
Let's go ahead and merge those two. Also, we lost another group of officers. We have 4 officers left. 4! Wow. Okay. And in fact, one of them is a guy that I recruited. So, of the original French command, 3 are left. After the French Civil War, where we lost half. And then the fall of France, we're down to just 3. That's right, Vichy was neutral until 1942 historically, which is, I think, when they can rejoin the war. It's part of their focus. Nope, that's Vichy. This, I think, is this is our capital. New Caledonia. We got a couple of units over here for some reason. And I think this historically was actually the centre of French resistance until they took over North Africa. Should also control Tahiti and some other islands. Yeah, we do. Oh no, those are American. I don't even know where Tahiti is, I'll be honest. Guam. Nanundo. Look at all the trade coming through here. New Caledonia. Yeah, that's all New Caledonia. Oh, we do still have Guyana. Which is good, because I think there are resources here. Nope, we have the crappy bit. They have the good bit. And yes, we have the Caribbean. And do we have any in industry? Is a good question. Nope, we have no factories. None. Nada. Zilch. 1 military factory, 6 dockyards. So we can build up a navy. Although the 6 dockyards, I think, are what's in Brittany. So once that's lost, we'll really have to take a valuation of what we have left. Okay, so the focus tree. First thing you will notice is it's different. Free France has their own focus tree. As does Vichy. Vichy also has their own focus tree. And basically the end of each focus tree is the end of the occupation when you go back to the French focus tree. So depending on what happens in the French liberation, you can basically just continue as France. This is one of the main reasons I wanted to play as Free France, is because we have a focus tree, the Exile focus tree. We can also do a couple of things here. I was really hoping that we would have some of the Dutch abilities to request industry. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case. They really need to make a generic set of decisions, which is for the governments in exile to get just 2 or 3 factories. Like, even giving them 1 civilian factory will let them build militaries. Especially if they're off-map. I mean, off-map. Alright, appeal to the French nation. We're going to get 10,000 manpower. We still actually have a fair amount. And 15 legitimacy. We should be at maximum already, I would think. We fought pretty sodding hard. How do I see my legitimacy? That's a good question. How do I see my legitimacy? Do we have 3? Yeah, we still have 3 spies. So all of the espionage stuff, Café René, is still going strong. So the fact that we invested early in espionage was a good idea. Okay, I will admit I was expecting legitimacy to be in here. Oh, this is the garrison log. I had not noticed that before. And this can show you how much manpower and equipment you're losing in each location over time. So we lost 53 infantry equipment in the last 12 months. Okay, legitimacy is kind of important. I need to know where it is. Because it's here, exile governments. If we were playing as Britain. Oh, we have defeatism. Recruitable population factor minus 50%. Resistance growth speed in our states occupied by the enemy minus 25. Legitimacy gain minus 50. So we can see the legitimacy gain is down. But what is our legitimacy? Oh yeah, you were asking about the Spy Master. So every faction, so the Allies, the Axis, Co-Prosperity Sphere, etc. has a Spy Master. They basically get a bunch of free operatives. So Britain right now has probably got about 10 operatives as opposed to my 3. And it just allows you to do a lot more with espionage. Am I in exile yet? Yes, we are. Actually, are we? Have we capitulated? We may not have capitulated, that's why. We haven't actually capitulated. Okay. Smart. So let's appeal to the French nation. France may have lost the battle, but it has not lost the war. It is the duty of every patriotic Frenchman to resist. This will give us some infantry equipment and some manpower. We are probably... Actually, we're not as low on equipment as I thought we would be. Okay, okay. And you guys are still trying to steal medium tanks from Germany. Cool. You should be trying to escape. So, try and escape. These guys are still fighting? No way. It's kind of hilarious. And there it is. We have capitulated. We continue to fight as a government in exile hosted by the United Kingdom. Our government starting legitimacy is 100. Free France has capitulated. Charles de Gaulle has announced that the French nation can no longer withstand the pressure from the occupying German forces committing travesties throughout the country. These are dark times. So yeah, we are now a capitulated nation. Which might give us access to nation in exile mechanics now. Hopefully. Oh, there is women in the workforce. Okay, so we could go to total production. This is recognizing governments in exile. Maybe I need to wait until midnight. Exiled status. Here we go. So we have 100% legitimacy. Divisions recruitment available to the United Kingdom. So the UK can recruit French troops, or French armies, which they will then give to us. Using British equipment. Exiled leaders will start to become available. Air wings, likewise. And then more generals. And we'll have all of the bonuses here. And we will also have plus 10% attack and defense against Germany. Any of our divisions. Okay, now we've lost the manpower. French leader offers service. After a long and hazardous journey through enemy-held territory in several neutral states, Michel Castaneau has finally arrived in the capital. Following a short period of recovery, he has offered his services, now a common struggle. Reportedly, he is quite eager to get back in the business of killing people and breaking things. Your fight is not yet over. So this is how we get new generals. So Castaneau is a skilled staffer, so he can have a big army. He is unfortunately reckless, and he's an exiled leader. So if he's leading our exiles, then he's even better at fighting. Another one. Francois Dupetit-Thoir. Harsh leader. Invader. Oh, he's a marine commander. Interesting. Okay, okay. We should get one more. And there he is. Okay, so these are the 3 free generals that we get. This guy was a trickster harsh leader. So we also have another armor commander. Though he's actually better at defense. Plus we still have de Gaulle with his mean level 7 attack. And Giraud, who's not currently commanding anyone. So let's put Giraud back in charge of that army. These are my regulars. These are the colonials. And then it is I, Leclerc, is still in charge of the whole army. And then these are colonials. which we will put in charge Thoar, I think. Just because he has the supply consumption bonus, which in Africa is going to be useful. Alright, now, other things that we can do. The big part of our focus tree is going to be appealing to the overseas territories. This is basically the mechanics to try and grow the number of nations which are loyal to Free France. So we basically get a bunch of decisions which will allow us to start influencing those countries and trying to get them to join the fight. We'll see exactly how that works when we unlock it. Is that 10% bonus just against Germany on occupied French territory? I don't think so. I think it's just against Germany. Because they are the occupiers. Oh, here we go. Lobby for support. Political power in exchange for legitimacy. No, see, I want to get factories. I want to be able to spend political power on factories. And we don't actually own any states, so that doesn't do anything. No military factories. Alright, let's bring this back down to just one. In fact, I may as well just clear this. And we have no factories under construction. We have nothing. So, speed 5 it is, because I am not going to be using my armies to attack anything. Also, we have very few convoys. I wonder if I can request a lend-lease for convoys. Okay. Just joined. Did France fall? No, France is still looking strong and healthy. Can't you tell? The Banovia of Croatia, as a result of continuing and increasing problems with the Croatian nationalist element, the Yugoslav government has necessitated to grant increased autonomy to the Croatians. A new semi-independent state, the Banovia of Croatia, has been called into being, though it is still nominally a dependency of Yugoslavia. The government's influence in the region has now been greatly reduced. Did Yugoslavia join the Axis? No, not yet. Funny thing, de Petit Thawar was a commander of a French ship during the Battle of Aboukir in 1798. And he's got the marine traits. I guess he's a ghoul or something? Just lives forever? Oh, and Rice Stalin and Octo Pipo, thank you very much for the follows. Welcome to the channel. Wartime exception. Free France is in a state of war. Normally, an election would be held at this time, but being in the midst of an important conflict, many argue that cannot afford to spend time on political campaigning, or a change in leadership if that should come about. Meanwhile, others claim that declaring the ongoing war a valid reason for skipping elections is the first step towards eroding French democracy. After all, letting military matters take precedence over the people's influence could be a slippery slope. I'm going to allow it. Gain political power, gain stability, which is going to be a big one for us. Popularity of communism. Do we still have communism banned? Oh yes we do. In fact, do we still have all of these? We still have the inefficient economy. We do have agricultural protectionism. We do have the expanded citizenship. And the firepower and defeatism. We didn't get any of the other buffs though. We didn't get the infantry equipment buff. Alright, it's good to know that those carry over. But no, we're definitely going to allow this. Because communism banned means that we'll get rid of the communists, then we just have this tiny little fraction of fascists. Oh, this one. Yeah, this is saying that we don't have enough troops for resistance suppression. So at the moment we own a bit of Italy. Oh, we still have Corsica. So we can basically choose how we want to manage Corsica. Missing infantry equipment because we're not producing any. It's going to be a constant drain. Sorry, Sardinia, you're right. I saw French ownings in that territory and just assumed it would be Corsica. Stay together, stay strong. As recent events in Paris had an impact on most of us, it is more important than ever that we come together as a nation. We must look at the state of our country and not accept, but change the outcome of this war. Forget the past and look to new horizons. We don't know what to expect the following months, but we will face it together. So we lose victors of the Great War, which we've already lost. We lose disjointed government, and most annoyingly we lose protected by the Maginot. Bugger. I liked having my plus 25% planning. And yeah, I know that we have Libya. Exactly where our capital is right now. Oh, capital's moved. Is this core? I doubt it. No, it's just controlled. Alright, we also need to choose what it is that we want to do with the occupied territories. So I think we're going to start micromanaging this a little bit more, because I would like to increase the compliance of everything so it's at least above 58. If the compliance is below 58, we'll build it up. If it's below, or if it's above 58, then we won't. Unless, of course, there's resistance, in which case we will root it out. But yeah, we don't need political in most. We don't need the police force in most places. I think that civilian oversight will be enough, with the exception of here, where we're going to go. Secret police. And we do now have enough political power for another option. Don't want to do service by requirement. We did so few government reforms during that period. Like, just nothing got done. Nothing at all. The new Retro Gaming, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the channel. Does resistance get reduced at high compliance? Yes, I believe so. Was that a German occupation of New Caledonia? No, I think it's just the flag. Oh no, you're right. Yeah, Germany has New Caledonia. Probably because they wanted the chromium. Okay, so it looks like the Brits are winning in Ethiopia now. That's good. Thaw's fallen ill. Alright, so we can continue the fight. We gain 2 more generals. And also some off-map military factories. Colonial recruitment will get us more manpower, which we don't need necessarily right now. Off-map civilian factories, here we go. Remove defeatism, the Marquis. Whenever I see Marquis, I always think Voyager. Resistance, growth, speed, and states occupied by the enemy. You know, let's do the Refuse Absurd, which gets rid of defeatism, because defeatism is reducing the amount of resistance that Germany is having to deal with. We want to make life hard for Germany. That is now our objective. Even in the hour of defeat, the will to resist remains strong in some hearts. They will form the foundation of the resistance movement in the occupied territories. What do you think Star Trek Marquis are named? Oh, I know. It's just I heard about Star Trek Marquis before I heard about the real Marquis. Hungary joined. A treaty has been signed at Vienna following the German arbitration that will see northern Transylvania restored to Hungarian rule. The territory had previously been awarded to the Kingdom of Romania after the conclusion of the First World War, leading to a bitter dispute. Are these the first of many borders to be adjusted, now that a new order seems to be established in Europe? Hungary has joined Italy as our enemy in the Italian-Malaysian War. Don't you want civilian factories? Yeah, of course I do. But I want to be a nuisance to Germany more.